Good morning. Good morning. Morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How's everyone doing?
Peachy.
What'd you say?
Peachy.
Oh, I thought you said itchy.
That too, maybe.
Yes. My son was itchy all night long, so here I am.
Oh, I think you said bitchy.
Ah. Um,
Be a little bitchy, maybe.
oh, now you're saying bitchy. All right, I'll take it from an 11 down to 10, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Good morning. All right, tell me something good. What's going on good in your life?
I have a listing that went live today. Whoop, whoop.
Beautiful. Tell us about it.
Super excited. It is technically a 5-bedroom, although they use it as a 6-bedroom. There's 5 bathrooms, daylight basement, which is also an in-law suite.
Okay.
3 workstations, 3 built-in workstations throughout the house. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'll put the
I tell you,
address in here. So
that's probably the most critical thing right now, right?
yes, exactly.
So much for an open floor plan.
Well, it's got an open floor plan upstairs, but 2 workstations downstairs and 1 in the kitchen.
Awesome. Awesome. What's the price?
$545.
Is that the address right there?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's in Horseshoe Bend?
Yes. Yes. It's actually my neighbor who I adore, and he asked me last year to list his house. So from November to Wednesday, he's been making improvements. He painted the whole inside, outside, pressure washed it, repainted the deck, got new carpeting upstairs. There's hardwood floors on the main floor. He got the grass installed, new grass installed. I mean, this guy went all out to sell it. The roof is 4 months old. HVAC system and water heater are 7 years old. So
Wow.
yeah, he went all out to make sure that he's selling a really good product.
Do you live on that cul-de-sac?
I live right across the street from him.
No, is that home on a cul-de-sac?
No, we're on the main street. The cul-de-sac is to the left of us.
That's Edwardton Court, right?
Yes, and we're on Edwardton Drive.
Ah, okay. I have a client that lives on Edwardton Court, right at the middle of the cul-de-sac. Stay away from.
I'll try. Although I have to tell you, buddy,
Hey,
I'm farming my neighborhood.
well, I will. This is a good. This is a good. This is a good example of my client.
Uh-huh.
And Heather and I, we love each other.
Yeah.
However, my client is Heather's prospect.
Mm-hmm.
And if Heather does a better job at communicating value to this guy than me, which is safe to say that could and that is probably happening right now, then you will get
Then I could what?
then you will get the business.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So everyone that when we look at our database and we see a bunch of people that we believe would come to us if they had a real estate question, guess what? That may not be true.
Right.
It's only going to be true when you provide more value than anyone else.
Right.
Hey, stay away from him.
I will do my best. You can private message me their name, and then I'll say, "Oh, I heard you're Bill Blinkwald's guy. How's this?"
Yeah, I'll save you $1 every month. All right. I want to go over a couple of things. My biggest takeaway, and some of you guys didn't hear this the other day, so I'm going to say it one more time. Actually, I might say it every day.
Can we mute everyone?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. My biggest takeaway from looking at our numbers, and this isn't pointed at anyone in particular, okay? But my biggest takeaway from looking at our numbers is we are flat out not talking to enough people. We're not having enough, first of all, we're not dedicating enough time to lead generation. And secondly, we are not making enough contacts. We're not adding enough people to our database. And not surprisingly, as a result, we're not booking enough appointments. Okay. So yesterday, my challenge to you guys was to have 20 contacts, 20 conversations about real estate, 2 ways. Tell me about how that went for you.
Went good.
Give me some examples. What did you feel? Was that like a normal day for you? Did you have to work a little harder? Did you change your routine a little bit?
Yeah, I definitely worked a little bit harder. I made an effort to go through my phone and just go through everybody I had saved on my phone, people that I haven't maybe even talked to for a year.
Yeah.
And I would just start off with a text. And if I felt like, I was getting more response from them, then I actually gave them a call. And in fact, one of them was a coworker from about 2 years ago. And she said she's renting right now. And I think I had told you this. And so she said when she's ready that she will be reaching out to me, that I am her realtor. So, so no appointments made, but definitely, put in the seeds or whatever for the future.
Great. Send her your app.
Oh, yes.
Make sure you have a connection between the two of you, because as soon as that conversation's done, they go off into the world, and then they get onslaught from all the rest of the world. So they turn on the radio and they hear, oh, we'll give you cash back on your buy. And then they hear the Redfin commercial about 1.5%. And then they hear the commercial about how real estate agents are overpaid. And then they hear that their aunt just got a real estate license. And then 6 months, when you expect that to be a slam dunk, it's not a slam dunk anymore. Right? So when you let them out into the wild, they need protection. The protection is your app and your relationship. Got it?
Yep.
But if you send them out into the wild with no protection, they're going to get scooped up by somebody who's more aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that ever happen to you, Alicia?
Yes, all the time. Is that the KW app that I'm sending them?
That's your search app. Yeah.
My search app. Okay, because
the consumer facing app.
Okay, I think for me, calling is not the problem. It's just trying to acclimate myself to all of the systems and get on the phones, because the calling's not the issue as much as trying to find the time.
Yeah,
so
I gotcha.
That's just been my challenge this week. So hopefully things will get right on next week.
You're not alone. You're not alone. Okay. I want to throw out a couple of ideas and see how you guys respond to them, okay? By the way, your homework for today is exactly the same as your homework for yesterday. 20 more contacts, okay? I want to build a habit. I want to build a habit where if you don't get 20 contacts in a day, you feel like weird. Kim, you work out every day, right?
Yes.
And if something happens and whatever gets in the way and you can't work out one day, how does that feel?
Awful. Crappy.
Right. I want not lead generating every day to feel really strange.
But it does feel that way this morning, because yesterday I sent you a text message and told you I couldn't do anymore. And so I made like 2 calls yesterday, and then when I woke up this morning, it was like a sense of guilt almost. So I don't feel bad about it, but I feel like I didn't do what I was supposed to do.
You have to listen to your body sometimes too, right? Like when you're overworking yourself, you have to put the brakes on for a second. Like, I remember there were days in my real estate career where I would go out and show properties at night, and as crazy as this sounds, I would pray that they didn't want one.
Oh my God, I've done that.
Right? I was like, oh my gosh, if these people want to buy this home, that's another 4 hours of work.
Yes.
Right? Like, please just give me a break. Okay? You have to listen to your body, right? Because if you make 20 crappy calls because you're worn out and you don't have, your mind's not clear and you don't have the scripts down and you're not excited to be on the phone, right? That's going to be a lower result than if you make 5 good calls the next day. Okay. And that's also why you have to take care of yourself before you take care of anyone else, which includes your customers. Okay. All right. Let's finish tactic 5 before Monday. Okay. Tactic 5 we'll review on Monday. If you're not caught up, please do as much as you can to catch up. Okay. Tactic 5 is full of nuggets, full of them. Okay. I'll give you an example. Here's one I read this morning. Shifts create urgency. The competition for leads becomes fierce, and your only choice is to get your unfair share of them. This means that you not only have to find leads before others, but you also have to convert them to appointments before they get away to others. Okay. Many agents have discovered that outside of generating leads, personally handling converting leads to appointments is the most dollar productive thing they can do for their business. And that is right. It's that important. Okay. It's not only getting on the phone with them and getting them to answer, but it's having a conversation with them that leads to a next step that's got you involved, right? An introduction to a lender, or a download of the app, or a Zoom meeting, or a buyer presentation, seller presentation. You got to book the next thing. When you want to get into the habit of when you get off the phone with somebody, you say, so the next step is, or the next step will be, or in 3 months, I will call you for this, right? You want one of the chief complaints of buyers and sellers is that they don't know what's happening next. So your job is to help them understand what's happening next. Okay. So get into that habit. Kathy, that's been helpful for you, I suspect, right? You've learned that a long time ago.
Yes, very helpful. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send my app to someone this morning who called me at 9:40 last night, and I was asleep. I was asleep at 9:30, and he called at 9:40 about one of my listings, and he said, "I'm so sorry that you got that I woke you." He could tell he woke me up, and I said, "It's okay, it's okay." I don't usually answer my phone, but I did. It was weird. And he said he was going to leave a voicemail, but I'm going to send him my app this morning. So I did. After I talked to him, my husband came in and said, "Who are you talking to?" And I told him what was going on. I'm so glad I told him, because I didn't remember much about it this morning, but I told my husband, who was awake. But that's the thing I'm going to do this morning, is send Bill my app. Yeah. He's unrepresented. He's here in Atlanta. His family's moving from Richmond, and this morning I thought I need to send him that link and reach out to him again this morning. But he said he would call me today, but I'm going to send him that link before he calls me.
There you go. And then when you're on the phone with him, you can say, I just sent you a link, or maybe you saw the link, right? You're connecting all the activities.
Hey, Kathy, this is Anu. May I say something about the app?
Yes.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm having some trouble with the app in terms of, there are 4, I think there are like 3 or 4 tabs when you first see the app.
Right.
One that says feed, something about feeding, the first one, I think. It says there's an error. So I was ready to send it out, but I asked my daughter to check it out and see, and she said, "Mom, that doesn't load. It says error loading." So I sent a message to Sam, and I don't know if it's just me. I just thought I'd let you know. So
I haven't encountered that, but you could check, number one, check for an update, or worst case scenario is just remove it and download it again and see if that fixes it.
Oh, okay. We'll try. Thanks.
Okay.
I have 2 clients who are using it right now, and I sent it. Got my son to download it on his phone just to test it out, and he said it worked fine.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe I have to update it. Or okay. Thanks.
All right. I'm going to throw out a couple of ideas, and I want you to tell me what your initial reaction to them is. In an effort to help you model a good schedule, and a schedule that respects the things that I believe are most important for the development of your career. Kathy, I can see your smile. I I think we need to do some live lead generation. And it's not necessarily live lead generation, but in a perfect world, this is what I have in mind. And you tell me whether you think I'm crazy. We finish this meeting at 9 o'clock. I step out for just a second and attend the leadership meeting that's from 9 to 9:30. These are a series of big asks, but they will all help you. Okay. We have a rotating system of people that will lead a script practice and role play session for those that want to participate from 9 to 9:30. I hop back on at 9:30, and whoever is interested in just having the Zoom on and muting your line, we're generating leads until, let's say, 10:45. So you have a little over an hour of lead generation, whatever that means to you, whether it's calls, texts, social media efforts, whatever it is. Okay. We're all here in a little community, so we can post little, chats. Hey, just booked an appointment, something like that. We're celebrating each other's successes. If somebody has a question, hey, they got an objection they've never gotten before, type it up in the chat. Somebody will help, right? 10:45, we all take each other off of mute. We have about 15 minutes of recap, okay? Hey, let's talk about what happened well. Let's talk about what we struggled with. Let's mastermind and help each other make some improvements. 11 o'clock, we hop off and go to the team meeting or the GLG call. What I think that will do is, number one, it will prevent you from scheduling appointments ideally in that time. And it will be forced accountability because we know who's on the call and who's not. Now, if you don't want to be on the call and you don't want to do that, right? That's fine. It's your business. You could do whatever you'd like. But we're also going to have public accountability for reporting. And people will see that you have a lot of low numbers, which is also okay. It's just we're gonna display what the activities of people are. Okay. What is your initial reaction to that?
I will say I like being in the big room. When we were, before it fell apart, I liked being in the big room. I liked generating leads in there, so it held me accountable.
Why else did you like it? What other benefits did you see in that?
I could ask questions, or somebody could ask questions. You got answers immediately when you had an objection. Hey, let's role play this. Yep. So
again, no one's listening to your scripts or anything like that. No one's listening to your call unless you want us to, right? We're just in this room. Pretend we're all in this room on mute doing our thing.
I like it because it's accountability. So
yeah.
I'm for it. Yeah.
I'm all about it. I think it's awesome because I know when I do cold calls, you're normally by yourself. So you may say, I'll do a couple, and then you fall off by the wayside. So I think having that accountability of seeing someone, knowing that they're on there, it also gives you that energy that you need to keep going too. And then if you do get stumped, you can ask somebody, hey, how are you overcoming this objective? How are you overcoming this one objective? So I think more brains, the better off we are, the more successful we'll be.
Love it. Okay. If you have any objections, then just reach out to me privately. Okay. We'll talk it through. Okay. So again, about 9:30 to 10:45, we'll be on the phone. 10:45 to 11, little recap. Congratulate everyone and help anyone that's having a little challenge. Okay.
Now, I just have one question, Bill. What about the coffee with Aubrey? Because I have yours, and then we go to that one, and that's at 9:30.
I don't have a good answer for that, to be honest.
I do.
It's a choice.
Everything is a choice.
Okay, so it's not mandatory. I didn't know if it was,
No. Nothing is mandatory, including success.
Right, exactly. But I mean, I thought, I had yours, and then I had Aubrey's, and then I had this, and I had that. So I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm trying to push you towards the activities that are going to build your business the most. Not to say that Aubrey's session won't.
Okay.
But if you choose not to generate, and by the way, an hour and 15 minutes of lead generation a day.
No, I want to do the leads.
Probably
I'd rather do the leads. I was kind of like, this is interrupting my lead time. I feel like 8 to 10 all in. That's always been my motto, 8 to 10 all in. So I just get on the phones at 8, from 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 and just call. So 8 to 10.
I already like you. 8 to 10 all in, man.
8 to 10 all in. That was always my saying.
Never heard that line. That's a great one.
Bill, are we starting this today?
I was not planning on starting it today. I was planning to start it Monday.
I have to run to.
I mean, the room is yours. I don't have any other obligations. You can use the room if you'd like. So a couple of other quick things. For the old reporting, okay, if you have not sent me the final week of March, please do so. Okay, I have to report that to a couple of my partners by Monday. Okay, really, I'm already late, so please send it if you haven't already sent it. Okay, for April, we're going to change it around a little bit, and I'm going to share a document with you that everyone is going to have access to, and you're going to answer the exact same questions. And that way it'll be nice and easy for me to tally everything up, and we'll have a new tab for each week. Okay. One thing that I'm also in the kind of very early stages of kind of thinking through and developing is this kind of another mode of accountability, which is, so actually, let me ask a really quick question. Does everyone in the building, does everyone in the room have a accountability partner?
Yes.
No,
Okay,
I
let's do
don't.
it the other way. Who does not have an accountability partner?
I don't.
Alicia, Heather, Alicia.
Heather.
Hello.
Okay, here I'm gonna remind you about what an accountability partner means. Okay, Alicia and Heather, I'm gonna use you guys as an example if that's okay.
Okay.
Alicia, do you have goals that are really important that you achieve?
Yes.
And when you achieve those goals, who gets helped?
My family, my daughter, me, people that are dependent upon me, and the clients, of course.
Fantastic answer. Okay. Heather?
Yep.
She's got big goals. And she's got a lot of people depending on her.
Yep.
Don't let her down. Okay?
I'm depending on you.
You have big goals.
What's up?
You have big goals.
Yes.
Are they important to you?
Very important.
Are a lot of people impacted when you achieve your goals?
Yes.
If you choose not, or if you do not achieve your goals, does that create extra stress in your life?
Way too much.
Alicia, she is depending on you.
Okay.
Okay, don't let her down.
I won't let you down.
Okay, connect offline and talk about what accountability means to each other, and share each other's goals. Share your goals with your partner so that they understand how important it is. And if you've agreed to have a text each other, let's say your stats by the end of the day, or you agree to role play scripts for 10 minutes in the morning, or whatever you agree to do to help each other hit your goals, don't let each other down. Okay. Now, you also have my permission to fire your accountability partner if they're not working. Okay. So I don't suspect this would happen, but I'm sure it's happened in the history of accountability partners where somebody's agreed to do something and they didn't do it. Guess what? They deserve to get fired. Okay. Because Alicia, your goals are still important. So not that I suspect this would happen, of course, but Heather, if you're falling off, Alicia still needs support. So if you can't do what she needs you to do to be her accountability partner, don't make it awkward. Just go to her and say, Alicia, I'm not the best person for you for accountability. Got it?
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yep, you got it.
Don't let her down. Like I used to, when I was running the ALC, I'd say, okay, the expectations of the ALC members are this. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. But the people that are on the ALC do that. And so if you miss a convention or you can't come to a meeting, tell me, don't make it awkward, just leave. But don't come in there like nothing happened. Got it? Okay. So I'm also considering these ideas of pods, okay, which are like a little larger groups of accountability. So it might be like 2 or 3 accountability teams in a little pod, and that little pod has kind of helps each other with some accountability that might not be only in real estate, similar to what the high accountability group was doing. So I'm kind of mulling that over in my mind. Okay. Did everyone listen to David Osborne yesterday on Facebook?
No. It was cool.
Please find an hour over the next 3 days to listen to that video on Facebook. That was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Where
Okay.
was it? The GLP?
It was on GLG
Yeah.
Facebook Live. So David Osborne is, as I understand, the largest franchise owner of the Keller Williams network. His mother, Althea Osborne, was agent number 5 and basically helped Gary grow this thing from the ground up. He is just he's got an incredible story, and he talks about the concept of ground game versus air game. And I don't want to ruin all the secrets for you, but that is probably one of the best hours that I've heard in a long time. Please find an hour this week. You can even put it on double speed and listen to it, okay?
What was his name?
His name is David Osborne.
I listened to it, but the last part of it cut off. Did it?
Yeah, I
cut off
found
for
that
you?
too. I'm going to go back in and listen and see if that was fixed. Okay. If I do not have a copy of your 135 or your economic plan or your 411, or you don't know what I'm talking about, send it to me. I'd like to take a look and help you. Kathy, you're on video. I don't know what that means.
He's talking to me.
All right. Any thoughts or questions, issues? What's going on, you guys? Thoughts?
I had a good listing appointment yesterday.
Okay. What happened?
I'm going to get it.
Yes.
I'm confident that Keller Williams is getting that listing.
Awesome.
Because they started asking me about timeline and my photographer, and I use the Chart Masters,
Yeah.
and they were discouraged at what price it should be listed.
Yep.
They wanted it $50,000 more, and a house across the street from them sold 9 months ago for with a pool and a nicer basement for $620. They wanted to list it at $650, and I said $600 is where it has to be, especially at this time. And I said it would be a detriment to you. I used language from Stephanie Brewer yesterday about we're not going to chase the market. We've got to be ahead of the market. And
Oh yeah.
they were they were kind of discouraged when I said that. And I said, would you rather have your house sit on the market for 156 to 325 days, or would you rather price it right and get more exposure? And they were like, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I think somebody else had told them they could list it at 650.
I love that line. Stephanie had some really good language around that. You're not going to have a problem finding an agent to list it for 650. The problem is it's not going to sell.
Yep.
Right? Like, you'll find an agent. And what that says is that I'm serious about my work and other agents are not serious about their work. So that's why the study of language is so critical for our work, is to really understand, like, when you say one thing, you're actually saying a couple of other things. But I love that line about, I'm not going to do that. And remember, we also learn to say what we need to say and then be quiet, right? So if you go in and you're like, 600's the price, and well, blah, 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 it loses its validity. You say 600 is the price, and silence until they say what they need to say. And if you need to bring out the data again to support 600, do it. If you got to walk them across the street and show them the house that just sold for 615, that's a lot more impressive than their home, then you got to do that too. Right?
Yeah.
All right, I want to read you, so just to recap, Tactic 5 by Monday, okay? Shift Tactic 5 by Monday. We're going to have 20 contacts today, okay? And I want to read you a line really quickly. Everything worthwhile is uphill, and no one accidentally goes uphill. Okay, everything worthwhile is uphill, and no one accidentally goes uphill. That's from John Maxwell. Okay. You guys go out there, make a lot of contacts, be sincere, ask how people are doing. Okay, lead with your heart, and go learn a bunch of stuff. And I will see you in a little while. Okay. Oh, we have a class on the schedule for 12 o'clock today. I called it Weekend Prep. It's kind of this first. I don't know if that was a good title or not. I could probably use a little help with marketing, but the idea here is we can talk about just tactics and activities that you can brainstorm and execute over the weekend to just drive more appointments and more opportunities. Okay.
Can you repeat that? My internet went and you froze.
Weekend Prep, and that is from 12 to 1 today. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Have fun, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, see you then.